Hello everyone, what's up people? I've missed you. I didn't upload a video yesterday. Like I mentioned, I wouldn't be uploading videos on Sundays, but I'm here today and I want to say that I missed you. Yesterday, it seemed as if it wasn't going to finish eventually. Okay, but here we are here again. This is day 6 of the 30 days consistency video challenge. If you're new, joining us for the first time on this series, welcome. Settle down, sit down. And if you're a returning viewer, you are the real gang. In a few minutes, someone is going to be sharing a few small chops. Just pick your own and settle down and pass the plate to the person next to you. Please don't eat everything. Small chops and juice is going to be going around very soon. Yeah, so calm down and join me on today's series. So I hope we've all gotten our small chops and juice there. Now we can dive right into the topic for today. So I was thinking about what to share. All right, I know we've been talking about David and Saul and Goliath and all those beautiful stories based on scriptural references. And today I'm not going to go into the next chapter like today. I want us to just take some time to even gist about everything we've been talking about for the past 6 days. Okay, so while I was thinking about David and Goliath and how different their life seems to be, knowing that both of them were kings of Israel, approved by God at the beginning from the start, they were both approved and anointed by Samuel. I was now wondering, so what went wrong with Saul? What's up? What happened? How did he derail so much? In the day 5 video, I remember I spoke about how Saul wasn't as obedient as David. I also talked about how he didn't know God well enough, how he had a very poor perspective about who God is and how he didn't make use of, he didn't leverage God's the merciful part of God. Okay, so but then I was just thinking, why did he get to this point? How manage? Okay, and one thing kept coming up. One thing, as I thought about him and thought about David and thought about all those other big people, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Joseph, all those people that we know in the Old Testament, including in the New Testament, Jesus and Paul and Peter and all the disciples that we know. One thing stood out: preparation. If you read 1 Samuel and you read from when we heard about Saul up until today, we didn't hear anything about his life before he became the king of Israel. There was nothing peculiar. Even after he became the king, we didn't see any stage where he went through a process where God was trying to teach him this, show him this, where he had to grow some level of intimacy, relationship with God, sort of. But with David, remember, he was a shepherd, right? He was a shepherd, and he had already had, even before he met Saul, he already had testimonies of how he killed lions and bears in the desert without anybody knowing that he even did it. He already had confidence in God over time based on experience. So the same thing with Abraham, the same thing with Jacob. The story of Jacob, how Jacob, after he stole Esau's blessing, had to run for his life. It was during that his race for his life that he encountered God. He suffered in the hands of his uncle Laban. All those experiences coming together made Jacob who we know today. Talk about Abraham, all of us, we know how he left his father's house and started moving to one land that he does not even know. He got to the land, empty space, nothing was there. He was just basing his entire hope and life on God's promises. Even having children, God promised. How many years later did Isaac come? Talk about Joseph that was sold into slavery in Egypt. Talk about Moses. All these people grew because of that process is a requirement in the kingdom. It is a must. MUST. You must pass through it. If God is going to use you in an exceptional manner, you must understand that there's a time for you to be obscure, just like Jesus was. Obscurity, where nobody is hearing anything about you, nobody is noticing. You are putting in effort, and nobody seems to even see the effort you are putting. It's looking as if you are just, taking one spoon and pouring into an ocean, as if you're not achieving anything with your life. God needs you to pass through a process like that. And that is what he was trying to do with Saul. When he started, he said, do this. And Saul will not do it. Saul will do what he wants to do. God will shout, I'm angry. Okay, do this. Saul will still do something else again. Saul just kept resisting the chastisement of God. The Bible said, until a seed falls to the ground and dies, it cannot bear fruit. If you've planted a corn before, anything at all you put into the soil, it has to die first and then it will start sprouting. The same thing should happen to everybody that wants to yield fruit. I mean, fruits are like evidences, and as you are speaking, they are seeing the results. You have to die first. Dying means dying to the flesh. Somebody is insulting you, you are just sitting and smiling. You can't even feel it anymore. You need to get to that place where God has built you up so much so that it's looking as if you're not even a human being again. You are now behaving like, you're divine. Right? So that is what I really wanted us to talk about today. Stop fighting the growth process. Stop fighting God's leading. So if we're going to break records like David and Abraham and co. I mean, David died how many years ago? See, today, in 2020, I'm still talking about him. I'm talking about Abraham. The posterity will never forget these men. So if you want your name to be as eternal as their own names, you have to subject yourself to growth. I have to subject myself to growth. I'm talking to myself as well. We all need to calm down, humble ourselves, and allow God to do the work that needs to be done in us, because He knows us better than anybody else, better than we know ourselves. So He knows what needs to be fixed. So pray today, and I also pray that God Himself is going to help us to fish out the things that need to be fished out, fix the things that need to be fixed, and break out the things that need to be broken out. In the name of So as usual, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me this evening. Please, I don't know if people are done with the chops or if we have to pass second round. I don't know, but maybe we'll have to reserve those ones for tomorrow. I don't know if chops can last till the next day, but if it cannot last, please share the next round to everybody. Please. Alright, that was on a lighter note. I just want to say thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.